Thank you very much, Kami, and thank you very much. It's funny. I just said we don't wear different hats anymore. We start now wearing different T-shirts or polos. So I had to change my polo. Yeah, I'm very excited to be here and to share this story of how different sports come together and then different partners join into it. So my name is, as Kami said, is Torsten Gohl, and I'm pretty much running table tennis in the Northwest Territories with the help and support of many around me. And I think I'm just going to hand it over to a quick introduction to Jessica, and then we're going to go more into more details of the project itself.
Hi, I'm Jessica Van Overbeek, as Kami said. I work for the Mackenzie Recreation Association, and our involvement in this project, I'll just explain really quickly, is that we helped fund it, and I'll give a little background on MRA and what we do. So MRA is a nonprofit, and we were established in 1993, but became a registered society in 2001. So if we can go to the next slide, yeah. So our mission is to enhance the quality of life of Mackenzie region residents through physical literacy and active for life opportunities, while supporting the development of recreation volunteers and leadership. So this project was obviously something that we felt fit into that mission and fit into multiple goals. Next slide, please. So what we do in a nutshell, just briefly, is that we help foster and support communities and individuals in our communities. So we do that through funding support and programming and communication and connections. So we do have some funding initiatives, which this project did capitalize on. We also do programming, which we work with multiple partners and communities. And maybe you've seen some of those programs happening in your community or online. And then we also really thrive on providing communication and opportunities for connection. So sharing circles, e-news going out, meetings to bring the leadership together and help hopefully connect and make some creative programming happen. Next slide. So we work in the North Slave, South Slave, and Dehcho region. So those 20 communities are the ones that we serve directly. Although some of our programming is open to anyone and everyone, so it doesn't necessarily mean you can't participate, but our funding grants are for the MRA region there. Next slide. So some of the stuff that MRA does is we help provide those connections and help the communication keep going, not just to the communities, but from the communities into maybe the more territorial organization or regional organization. We provide support, whether that's in the form of funding and program and travel support at the community level, or whether that's providing support by doing programming and events within a community or with an organization. And one of the other things that we like to help do is brainstorm. So connect with people who are doing programming, connect with communities, connect with people who have resources, and think about how we can be more efficient and effective in providing those services and helping communities to develop physical literacy, and also create that partnership and multi-sport influence throughout the territory. So this is where this project really kind of piqued our interest. So next page, or next slide, sorry. So that's very, very nutshell of what MRA does, but you can always visit us online and you can always come and see what we have going on. And I'll pass it back over to Thorsten.
And how it all then came together is that we had the idea, and the idea came from just walking was inside an arena and seeing the hockey play from a table tennis perspective and saying that we should look into a possibility of bringing the two sports together and trying to find a way that we can enhance the skills for the hockey goalies in this case. And just a starting point for bringing sports together. So then from that idea, we reached out to the funder, what would be Jessica and MIA, and put a proposal together to asking for funding to help and support the development of the program, and then also to include the research part. And Veronica will talk a little bit more about the research part. We then also reached out to hockey, and Kyle can talk about that a little bit more, to get actually the athletes included, to then create the program with different table tennis coaches, including hockey coaches. And then again, at the end, going over to Veronica with the evaluation piece at the end. So maybe I'm going to hand it over to Kyle quickly and just talk about the aspects on what hockey was, or how hockey was included in this.
Yeah, thanks, Thor. A lot of the credit for this program goes to Thor for sure. With hockey, we were really heavily impacted by COVID. We weren't able to bring instructors up from the south like we typically do, and goaltending training certainly dropped off last season. So when Thor reached out with this idea of bringing table tennis and hockey together for goaltenders, we jumped at it. We reached out to Hay River Minor Hockey, which quickly turned around some interested goalies to pilot this project, and we contributed with one of our goaltender coaches to send them down to Hay River and work with Thor to, I guess, get a baseline evaluation for the goaltenders, kind of pre and post program. And that's kind of how we connected, I guess, Thor with the goaltenders, but Thor took it from there to run through everything. And so thanks, Thor. And, yeah, great work.
So then we now had the funding in place. We had the hockey goalies. We had the support from two charitable sports organizations, and that included then the third one, what would be Hockey North, and then a fourth national organization, Table Tennis Canada. Everybody was interested in participating in this event, and from then, as I said, we reached out to the Sport Information and Research Center, and Veronica took on the part of the evaluation. So first we met, and I hope I don't take too much away from your presentation, but we just discussed where the outlines on my vision on what it will look like, not knowing anything about research and having no idea where to start and where to end. And from there, we had a few meetings and then started the process of just writing things out and making sure that we have something to showcase after the program finished. We then also worked with table tennis coaches from Germany and the former national team coach for the Canadian team to write out a curriculum for the 6 weeks program. And that took us quite some time to figure that out, because we need to not think about a table tennis athlete, but we need to think about a hockey goalie. And none of us were hockey goalies, neither knew how to skate. So that was a bit of a tough one. But then when hockey and WT as well came in and provided us help and support with Anthony, that helped us to understand a little bit more. And then we just went and learned every step on the way. So with this, I'm going to hand it over to you, Veronica.
Thanks, Thor. Do you mind just advancing the slides until we get to my presentation? Great, thanks. You can actually just go to the next slide since you've already kind of introduced everything. Perfect. Yeah. So thanks, Thor, for introducing, and thanks to Jessica and Kyle for your kind of parts in this as well. So I'm coming kind of into here at the back end to explain how we did the research and evaluation around this program to show its impact and how it was experienced by the participants. So as Thor's already described, we know the program was kind of a 6-week table tennis training program for hockey goalies, and the goal was to improve hand-eye coordination and reaction time, and also to help these kids have fun. And really this was brought in as kind of a way of looking at multi-sport approaches. So in the context of physical literacy, just are there skills or kind of different skills that we can learn in one sport that might transfer over to another sport. So that's really what's kind of like the basis for this program. So here, looking at what are the table tennis skills that can maybe feed into things like hand-eye coordination or reaction time that might benefit a hockey goalie. So there were 7 goalies in this program, aged 9 to 15, and they participated over those 6 weeks. And you can advance to the next slide here. And really what we were trying to figure out when we did this evaluation, kind of the research behind it, is first, does the program increase participants' hand-eye coordination and reaction time? So looking at those as the 2 main skills that we're seeing if they transferred. And if it did, then to what extent? So kind of measuring those changes. And second, we just wanted to know, how do participants experience and perceive the program? So is there other benefits outside of skill development, things like having fun, making friends, or having access to different types of coaching and development experiences they might not have had otherwise? And to do this, we were looking at things like their demographic characteristics and sport histories. So we did some participant intake forms for that. We did some on and off ice performance measures before and after the program. And we also, again, looked at those experiences and perceptions of the program through exit interviews right after it had finished. You can go to the next slide. So here's kind of a timeline of what that looked like in case it helps you to visualize that. So before the program took place, we did those participant intake forms where we looked at kind of demographics, so things like age and gender, what sports the participants were currently playing, and kind of what their previous sport involvement looked like. So we wanted to know like how much hockey experience do they have, and did they actually have any previous table tennis training experience before they came into this program. Then in week 1, we did our first kind of performance measures. So those included hand-eye coordination, which involved the test where it's called the alternate hand wall toss. So you throw kind of like a ball against the wall and you have to catch it in your other hand, throw it back against the wall, catch it in your other hand, and you record how many times you're able to successfully catch the ball in a minute. The second test was reaction time. So just a simple computer-based test, red light, green light. So you're watching the screen, you see the light's red. As soon as it turns green, you press a button and it's the time between the light turning green and you pressing the button is your reaction time. And the last test that we did was on the ice. So it was the save percentage. So how many saves did the goalie make when faced with 10 slap shots, and all in kind of equal conditions. So that was all done in week 1. So we got kind of some baseline measures, how good they were at those things heading into the program. They then participated in the table tennis training program for 6 weeks. And then in that last week, we did all of those tests over again and looked at the change from the first week to the last week. And then also, as I mentioned, we did some exit interviews. So in the week or 2 after the program had ended, just some short interviews with a sample of the participants, asking about, why they participated in the program, what they were hoping to get out of it. What did they like about it? What did they dislike? What did they think were the benefits of that program? And were they satisfied overall with the program? And we can jump ahead here to the results. So first, just a general kind of description of those participants, as we mentioned. So through those demographics and sport history. So again, 7 hockey goalies, aged 9 to 15, 6 boys, 1 girl, 3 identified as Indigenous. They'd been playing hockey on average since they were 5. And participated in 2 to 4 hockey practices and 1 to 2 games per week for about 6 months of the year. And only 2 of them had previous experience playing table tennis, and that was largely in like an informal setting, so at home or at a friend's house. So that's kind of the group that went into this program. You can go to the next slide here. First, when we looked at hand-eye coordination, in the graph you'll see here, the red bars are the so before the program scores, the gray bars are after. So you can see there's some variability here, and this is each individual participant since there's only 7, so you can see how each individual one improved. On average, they improved their hand-eye coordination by 20.5% after participating in the program, so seeing some kind of significant increases here, but again, some individual variability. You can go to the next slide. Looking at reaction time, again, seeing participants' reaction time increased by 9.7% after the program. I don't believe this was a significant difference, but again, you can kind of see here, there's some variability. So looking from before to after, several participants had increases, but also some had some decreases. So kind of seeing some mixed results there, although the average overall trended upwards. And then you can skip to the next slide. And then I think a very promising finding, on average, participants improved their on-ice save percentage by almost 16% following the program. And again, you can see some of those individual changes in each graph, with most of the participants increasing their save percentage. And then jump ahead. And I think a really important part of this evaluation was really looking again at those experiences and perceptions of the program. So actually asking the participants, about what the program was like and what they got out of it, shows us a lot more than just kind of always looking at the numbers. So a big theme that we found was participants really valued the opportunity to develop new skills and work with specialized instructors, especially because these opportunities are harder to access in the North. So it was actually a really important developmental opportunity for them. regardless of any changes in skill. And as you can see, like with the quotes on the left side of the screen, one participant saying, in the north, there's not a lot of special training. It was just an opportunity I didn't want to miss. To make the program better, a couple of participants noted that they might have liked greater integration of on-ice training. But again, it was a table tennis training program, so it makes sense that a lot of the training didn't occur on the ice, but wanted to see some of the older participants in particular wanting to see that. All the participants stated that the program was fun, they improved skills, and that they felt more confident in their skills as a goalie after participating in the program. So for example, one participant saying, I feel better knowing that I can react to pucks better. And another saying, it was a safe space and we're here to learn something. So if you make accidents, that was fine. And honestly, it was just really fun. And I think everyone thought that the program made them a better goalie in at least a small way. And that's a really, really important takeaway of a program like this. You can jump to the next slide here. So kind of final thoughts, just overall, the goalies did show significant improvements on 2 of those 3 skills that we tested before and after the program. And they showed good on-ice progress overall, which is very promising. And I think just most importantly, they had fun, increased their confidence, and felt better in their skills after participating in the program. And that's all I have for the evaluation here today, Thor, so I'll pass it back over to you. And you're on mute.
I should unmute myself first. Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Veronica. Again, it was a beautiful learning experience for me, and I'm sure for everybody involved, just to add the research component to it, not just to make it multi-sport, to include the MIA as funders, but to add the multi-sport component too. And from a table tennis perspective, for us, it's all about coming together and bringing the sport and recreation field together to share the opportunities that we have and collaborate. And it showed in this case, and sad enough with COVID, we weren't able to expand it at this point, but it's still our plan to increase the participation, to increase more communities in this project, and see that we can bring sports together to enhance skills for each other. And I think that's just the beauty of it all. I have a short little video that I can show. I just need to change my screen over here. And that's just a short little video we did after the session. And then I think we can leave it open for questions and answer after that.
My name is Connor and I'm a table tennis coach.
My name is Deacon Tyburn and I am a U15 hockey goalie here in Hay River.
My name is Owen Pettipaw and I am an under 17 hockey goalie for
I'm a U15 goalie here in Hay River.
Hello, my name is Lennox and I am an under 13 hockey goalie here in Hay River.
My name is Medrick and I am an under 13 Hay River goalie.
For the last 6 weeks we practiced table tennis here at Hay River's Recreation Center.
We did 5 hours each week to improve our hand-eye coordination and reaction time.
Thank you very much to the Sport Information Resource Center.
Thank you, Municipality and Community Affairs.
Thank you, Town of Hay River.
Thank you, Aurora Ford.
Thank you, NWT and Nunavut Lotteries.
Thank you, Hockey NWT and Hockey North.
Thank you very much, Table Tennis Canada and Table Tennis North.
Very nice memory to think back of that. I think a few things that I want to add as well is Connor, who was assistant coach. It's another thing, is building capacity in the community. Connor is from the community. He's actually a hockey player, and he participated in the Canada Games for table tennis. So beautiful to also build capacity, to teach him and give him the opportunity to step up to the next level, and that hopefully becomes a coach. When I talked about table tennis training for hockey goalies, we started the programming just table tennis basics. So in the beginning, you saw bouncing the balls, just very basics to increase eye-hand coordination. Some of the kids could bounce it maybe once, maybe twice, and later on they could do it many times. We then changed the ball size. So in the beginning, you saw balloons, then a little bit softballs, and then we went to the table tennis balls. Then we included on the table training, so just playing basics for and back, doing fun games so the kids were engaged and excited about it. Later on, then we transitioned from, I think it was 70% table tennis to 30% hockey. And what that means is trying to build exercises that reflect a hockey goalie. So we saw it once as we said, you need to hit the ball twice with your forehand and then catch it with your left hand. And so we tried and built those kind of exercises in. And then later on in week 4, 5, and 6, we said we transitioned from 70-30 to 60-40 to 40-60 and then to 30-70 to including more of these exercises. Yeah, I think that was really it from our end. I think back to you, Kami and Kim, and if there's any questions for the panel.